You probably clicked on this guide because you're looking to learn more about Mai. Good choice. She's easy to learn as she has all the fundamental tools of Street Fighter 6. A fireball, an invincible reversal, and a cancelable crouch medium kick. She can also turn up the aggression with one of the best specials in the game, EX fans, which allow her to get in and mix up the opponent. She also has great mobility with her air dive and fast drive rush. But she also has tons of depth. Her flame stock mechanic and the variety of combos will keep you engaged even after you've hit the highest ranks. I recently hit legend rank with Mai, and I want to share everything I've learned along the way. We'll start basic and get more advanced as the guide goes on, so feel free to skip around. All right, well now we're actually legend. And so I want to start with the top 5 things you should be learning when you're first starting out with Mai. And the first is her fireball, which in my opinion is probably one of the best, if not the best, fireballs in the game. And the reason is it's very versatile. You have 3 versions of the fireball, light, medium, and heavy. But the main advantage is you can charge these. So you can do like a partial charge, which is really useful for like frame traps and throwing the opponent off. And you can do a full charge. And the main benefit of full charge, it kind of bounces on the opponent. There's 3 versions. The light barely bounces, the medium bounces a good amount, and the heavy bounces a large amount. But really what makes this fireball strong is the EX version of it, right? You essentially get all the benefits of the regular fireball, but when it's EX, it goes through other people's fireballs and you still get a mix up, right? You can do something like EX fan, dash up, throw in between, and it's a very, very potent mix-up tool. And I think in order to use this fireball the best, you have to kind of understand how it works in the system of Street Fighter 6. Your normal fireball actually loses to the regular fireball. And even if I throw out the charge one, it just clashes. But he takes less risk because his fireball's slower, he doesn't have to charge his fireball up, right? But this is where EX fan comes into play. If I throw an EX fan, at the same time he throws his fireball, it says punish counter, which means I punish the recovery of his fireball, which means I could do something like this. You took almost a third of their health and you drag them all the way to the corner just for them throwing a fireball. And because of that, because they're really scared of this EX fireball, then you can start to get away with the regular charge fireball, right? The other thing you might be wondering is like, why don't I just always throw out the charge fireball? This doesn't seem that good, and it's not. One of the main reasons that makes it bad is like you can actually just like hit the fan. So it's not very strong. But the main advantage, if I charge a fireball with Mai, I'm gonna react to this fireball start with a jump. See, I'm able to react with a punish counter, and you take a bunch of damage. So how I like to think of the regular fireball is it's to bait out someone trying to react to my charge fireball, right? So again, here I try to like react to the fireball, I just get anti-aired, and you can kind of continue your game from there. Really, when you're starting out with Mai, it's really important to understand how all the fireballs work together in tandem. The regular fireball is used to bait them into jumping. The charge fireball is when you get them to stay on the ground and you go in for pressure. And the EX fireball is to beat other people's fireballs or to hedge against jump because, right, if I try to react to EX with jump, I just get anti-aired, right? You can also charge up this EX fan as well. There's 2 versions. You have the regular fireball, which shows out 2 fans. And if you hold forward and punch, you get 4 fans, which is really, really strong. These are good. The issue is that, right, you're just more susceptible to being jumped. If you end up getting this out, what are they gonna do? They can like jump forward, but you can anti-air. So you're kind of just like forced to block, really. And the other cool thing is like, let's say I do this, and then I can like throw in between the gap. So imagine like a full screen neutral skip that you get a mix up off of. One of the best specials in the game for a reason. All right, the next 2 tips are around using the fireball as well. So because this fireball is really strong, you have to keep them on the ground. And the best way to do that is get really, really good at anti-air. Now she has a few anti-airs. For example, like this back heavy kick can work. Not very well, I never use it, but it technically can work, right? This core circle heavy punch can work too. It's really rewarding. But for new players, what I actually recommend is just getting really good at doing her dragon punch or her, I'm not saying this, rising, her rising knee strike. The light version is nice because it kind of covers like this angle right above her, and it goes pretty horizontal as well. So even from here, it still reaches. Now, one of the disadvantages is like from like right outside of round start distance, if they don't hit a button, they just empty jump and you do light DP, it's gonna whiff. But if you do medium, it'll reach. And technically heavy works too. But I like to stick to just light and medium. Light being for when they're close, medium for when they're a little bit far. And of course, there's like different ways to do the DP. So for example, you can do it from crouching. You just do down, forward, down, forward. You can do forward, down, forward, forward. So like this, see how like I can do it like super quick, or you just do it the traditional way. A big mistake beginner my players make is they'll do this and then they'll just go back to zoning. Really what you want to do is you want to go in. Your whole goal of this move is to deter them from jumping so you can get this charge fan out. And if all you do is tack on a little bit of damage, they aren't going to be scared to jump, right? Because the reward of a jump is like way higher, right? Like this does like triple the damage of your anti-air. So in order to get more damage out from these situations, after you do the anti-air, you go in. You have a few options, right? You can go for drive rush mix up. You can go for just dash forward throw. You can even go for like you just do tackle after and you're plus on block. There's a lot of different options, but the whole goal is like land that and then use that to start your offense. You can even just charge a fan after if you want something really easy, right? But the whole goal, make them pay for jumping at you. All right, so tip number 3 is to make sure you're using your ground buttons. It can be really tempting to just kind of throw fireball and wait for a jump. The issue is that it loses the people just kind of like walking forward and bullying you, right? Because if you're just waiting for the jump, they get in for you for free, they hit buttons and they start chunking your drive gauge, right? So it's really important to make sure you're also hitting buttons such as their stand heavy kick and their stand heavy punch in order to like kind of box them out. So for example, if someone's just walking at me, I could throw a fireball, I'm not gonna get much, right? But if I do something like this, it's gonna do a lot of damage. Let's say the opponent's trying to do like walk forward button and they miss and you happen to do your stand heavy kick, you get some pretty decent damage and corner carry, and then you get to start your gameplay, right? And the thing about stand heavy punch is it's cancelable. So on block, it's really good because you can throw your fireball. You can actually be plus. This is really strong. You can also just do stand heavy punch nothing in case you think they're gonna DI or they're gonna do something else. Or if you wanna be cheeky, you can do stand heavy punch, charge the fireball, and then go in. So you have a lot of different options off these ground pokes, right? There's no option from the opponent that deals with everything. So for example, like let's say the opponent is just like mashing medium kick after, right? Like, okay, yes, that's gonna check me. But if I do the fireball at the right distance or partially hold it, I'm just gonna counter hit them. I'm gonna get some free damage. And so then the opponent's gonna be like, all right, I'm scared to medium kick. Then you get this charge. And then you go in for a throw, you go in for a mix. Tip number 4 is crouch medium kick. Crouch medium kick, very, very strong in Street Fighter because what the opponent wants to do against your buttons is make him whiff, right? So I can do something like this, right? And the way I do that is I walk back and forth. What's the best way to stop someone from walking back and forth? Instead of like whiffing button, you just go forward, press crouch medium kick, drive rush, and now they're in the corner and now they have to guess. Having a cancelable crouch medium kick is a privilege in this game, and you want to make sure you're using it. All right, so tip number 5 is her level 1, which in my opinion is probably the best level 1 super in the game. And the reason this is the best level 1 super in the game is because it grants you access to these flame stocks. And the idea of a flame stock is that it enhances your special moves. And so oftentimes you want to land this as much as possible. And you can land in a few ways. You know, if it's a really good anti-air, does a bunch of damage. You can use it as a reversal on wake up as invincibility after EX Ryembu. And in the corner just after your heavy Ryembu. And there's a few other ways, but those are the most common. Yes, it gives her a little extra damage, but in matchups where characters have fireballs, which is like half the cast, as you can imagine, like if you don't want to spend EX, this can get really annoying, right? But if you land your fire, or even just on whiff, and we get back into the situation, my fireballs now be his, which means I control neutral, and I get extra damage on my combos, and now I basically win the game. So make sure you're using level 1. There's a lot more applications we'll talk about in the advanced section, but just using it and using the enhanced fireballs is really strong. All right, so let's talk about the basic combos. I'm a big believer you don't want to learn too many combos when you're starting off with Mai, so I'm only going to teach 4 combos. Any 3 light string she has that ends in crouch jab or stand jab can be canceled in the light tackle. Very useful. It's really good for like just mashing out. It's really good for like, for example, I can just repeat this over and over. It's just a good pressure sequence, right? You'll be using this one a lot. Second combo is after crouch medium kick. And the combo I'm going to teach, there's a bunch of different versions, but the version I'm going to teach is this crouch medium kick, back heavy kick, into H Ryembu, into light tackle. And the reason I think this is the best one to learn is on crouch, this will restand, and then the H Ryembu will hit. Because if you do like a different version, the H Ryembu, this move right here, whiffs on crouching, and the back heavy kick actually stands them back up. The third combo is like, let's say someone like whiffs the EXTP. You don't really want to spend this drive rush because that's like 2k damage, where realistically you could do something like crouch medium punch, stand heavy punch into tackle, and it does more damage and you save the drive, right? So this is like probably your most universal punisher. This also works on drive reversal. So for example, you ever block drive reversal, crouch medium punch, stand heavy punch, into tackle, right? This is also like your basic shimmy combo. So if they whiff a grab, you want to react with crouch medium punch because it's the fastest. It's only 6 frames, which means it's easier to react to a whiff grab with. And you get a bunch of damage. Of course, you could just always do stand heavy punch into the same combo. Does a little less damage, but still like sometimes you're not close enough to get that crouch medium punch. Oh, I also forgot, if they're crouching and you land, let's say you land this combo, don't use H Ryembu, use something like core circle forward heavy kick. So let's talk about how to use your bar. You can use it level 1 in the corner, very strong. Level 2 and level 3 combo mid screen. So something like this. Level 2 does a decent chunk. Level 3, you can actually cancel the light tackle into level 3. My advice for when you use super in this game, use super if it's gonna kill. No question. Use level 3 most of the time you have it. Like if you're really down on health and you still have another round to go, yes, there are some exceptions, but most of the times you have level 3, use it instead of just sitting on your meter. The other thing you can do is also cash out on using your drive gauge. So if you know the combo is going to kill, you can do something like this. So as you can see, same exact combo structure. We basically just combined a combo in 2, but you did 1,000 extra damage. And if it's going to kill, who cares if you're in burnout? All right, so let's talk about mix-up. Now, even though this combo and this combo end in the same knockdown, because they're kind of like floating a little bit higher when you do the cartwheel move, they're actually not the same knockdown. This one is plus 30 and this is plus 27. A really strong knockdown situation after core circle forward leg kick, dash forward, back heavy kick. If they get hit, you can link a jab into the same thing and just literally keep looping this, right? And if they're mashing, you can get an even better combo because this counter hit, right? And that way you don't have to worry about opponents smashing. This is also for people that are brand new. I actually don't know this. I gotta test. They DI, you can DI back, right? By the way, your DI combo is just this. Same exact thing. If you do after this combo, look what happens. You're just gonna whiff. So be really careful about that. If you're below like platinum, just focus on getting the combo down and timing the meaty like as they get up properly. As you get better, mix up between doing strike, doing throw, which again, throw will beat mash as well, or doing a shimmy, which is when they do like a delayed throw on wake up, just dashing forward, walking back, and doing the crouch medium punch, right? So essentially on all the knockdowns, you should just focus on doing this triangle of strike, throw, shimmy. So after this, you can just do something like stand heavy punch fan, or dash forward, walk a little bit, crouch medium punch, right? There's no like secret auto time meaty after the H3 Yembu juggle. But what you can do, compared to a lot of characters, is just after this, just throw a charged fan. And then you can do cool little sequences like this that we'll talk about later. The other thing I want to talk about is throw Oki. So mid-screen, her throw Oki is actually pretty crap, right? You don't get much. They literally go full screen. You can throw a charged fan, which seems pretty good, follow it in. The issue with charged fan on knockdown is if they neutral tech and they hold up forward, you get cooked. So you have to be really careful throwing the charged fan. You can also throw EX fan as well. EX fan is pretty good here because you kind of get it out guaranteed. And then you can kind of just walk forward and, you know, do your thing, right? But mid-screen, you don't really get that much. I think her corner throw loop's actually very strong. So if you just do throw, dash forward, throw again, if you time it correctly, it'll beat mashing. So even like you do throw, they try to jump out, you do a DP, right? You can just kind of loop this, right? Very strong. Forward jump, you can still catch the forward jump. You just input your DP the other way. You get the idea. You can continue the pressure. So throw in the corner is very strong. The only way you really beat this, they can do EXDP, whatever. You take a little bit of damage, and if you happen to bait it, like they just die, right? So whatever, that's not the worst thing. The other thing they can do is backdash, crouch jab into a combo, right? So you need options to beat both backdash, EXDP, and throw tech. So your option to beat EXDP and throw tech is you just walk back slightly and then crouch. So let's say the dummy either normal throw, we'll do a delayed timing, we'll do parry, and we'll do EXDP. So just walking back slightly, wait, will beat the EXDP. And of course you just kind of punish with whatever you want. And if you see the grab whiff, crouch medium punch into your punish combo. They also start doing parry, right? You can just kind of react to whatever they do and punish. So just sitting there waiting is very strong. The other option you can do is just hit them with a meaty. You have a couple options: crouch late kick, crouch late punch, goes into tackle, into, you know, the same exact situation we were showing earlier, right? If you think they're gonna backdash, probably back heavy kick is your best call out, because in the corner, back heavy kick target combo goes straight into level 1. And they just die for backdashing, right? Fan in the corner is really strong. So if you do like any knockdown, charge a fan is very good. I like medium fan. You can throw. If you think they're gonna throw back, you can backdash or jump. So like let's say we get in the block. You get the idea. You can do some pretty cool stuff like that. The only disadvantage is this obviously loses the reversal, so you gotta be a little careful. The cool thing about immediate fireballs is it beats level 1 supers and GP's amnesia, most notably. And they do that. They get hit, and I think you get a full combo. You get the idea. So you can get a combo like that. Fan Oki is good. I don't like spending EX fan here because like if they reversal, you're already out 2 meters. But if you want to be like really cool, you can do something like you get the idea. So you can do some pretty cool stuff like that. Go for high-low mix. But I do think it's very resource expensive, and they can kind of react to the EX flash and just drive reversal or DPU. This is going to give you all the tools to play Mai. And what I recommend before you go even for any further in this guide, get really consistent with your anti-airs. Get really consistent with your combos, and make sure you can stop people from mashing on wake up, right? Which you could just do by putting them on wake up reversal and crouch late punch. Yeah. If you can't get that kind of stuff done consistent, don't worry about the rest of the guide. Get the fundamentals done first. But if you're looking for something more advanced, let's get into it. I'll call it some more advanced section because really everything else is kind of just built on top of what we talked about, right? There's a lot of moves I didn't cover and a lot of applications of moves I didn't cover. Let's get into them. All right, we can start with normals. Crouch light kick, crouch light punch. Obviously, we kind of talked about good for light confirms. Stand light punch and crouch light punch are a little bit different. So light punch, stand light punch has a little less range than crouch light punch, right? And it's like it's actually pretty minuscule. The main disadvantage of crouch light punch compared to stand light punch is it actually has less hit stun. If I do crouch jab into corso forward EX, doesn't combo. If I do stand jab, it combos. Other than that, you use them pretty much just like crouch jabs. I think your jabs are actually better than most jabs because they go pretty far. The main downside being your cancel options aren't really the best after them. For example, it's kind of hard to stop someone just pressing crouch medium punch after your jab. You're just gonna get counter hit, right? So the only thing you can really do is like cancel in the Riembu. Even that doesn't like get you that much. So really the only option you have to like be really safe against like reversal mashing is actually just cancel an EX fan. It's really good. You get the idea. Let's talk about her other EXs. So she has EX tackle. I think it's really good. Like if you want to go level 1 near the corner, right? So this gets me level 1. I can't really convert this into level 1, right? Now technically I could do like this combo, but sometimes it'll whiff. So a really consistent thing to do if you want to guarantee that level 1 is go EX, jump medium punch, super. Same thing with the EX flame. This is really just used to go into level 1 most of the time. Again, it's kind of like the closer you are to the corner, the better this is. Let's say you're at like this situation right here. I land a punch counter this close to the corner, right? I think most of the time you just go for a level 1 here. Because if you go for level, you can't actually get level 1 here, right? Because this is gonna whiff. If I do this, and then I can throw a charged fan, and then they get their shit mixed, right? So I still get Oki when it's pretty close to the corner, and I still get my flame stocks. So it's pretty optimal then. But outside of that situation, I'm not really using like EX like here, so to speak. Unless like that's gonna kill. Oh, let's talk about our dive. We haven't talked about our dive at all. All the dive versions are the same. Light, medium, heavy, doesn't matter what button you use. On block, it's generally, if you space it like at their feet, it's safe. And just doing like the lay throw tech after is pretty, will cover most options. You have to be careful though, because like if it's spaced up here, it's going to be unsafe. They're just going to do a jab punish and you die. You don't want to do that. So because of that, I don't really use this move that much. Really where I think it's good is against like people trying to do like normal anti-airs, right? So for example, like if I jump against Mai and she does this, like I'm just going to get hit, but I can do this dive, bait out the normal anti-air and get a good mix up, right? The other situation you'll find yourself using this is after the target combo. So she has a target combo, light kick, light kick, light kick, into dive. You don't have to cancel into the dive. This target combo is okay. That's all I can say. It's not amazing. I think you can get by without it. It's kind of just like, it's very easy to autopilot. You just dial in the dive when you see it hit. And if not, you can just bounce away. The issue is that it's kind of gimmicky because like against a lot of the cast, for example, in the Mai mirror match, yeah, so that's punishes. But so some characters can punish you, you just have to be a little careful. On hit, it's actually pretty good. It's actually probably better on hit than just going to tackle. The issue is that compared to jabs, your pressure is just basically done if they block this, right? After this tackle, you actually can just hold up forward and get a safe jump, which means that they can't reversal as long as you're holding guard. And if they happen to neutral tech, you still get the safe jump. You're just gonna cross up, right? Another thing about stand light kick is it's the best for shimmies. So for example, like if you're shimmying after drive rush, if you do stand jab or crouch jab, you might get throw. However, if you do stand light kick, less of a chance to get thrown because it has more pushback. Stand medium kick, this button is okay. It's kind of like Terry's stand medium kick, except unlike Terry, you can't get amazing damage on punish counter. You can't do like level 1 punish counter. You can do level 2 punish counter, which is kind of cool. Also, like at certain ranges, this will combo, but it's like doesn't work nearly like anywhere close to max range. Oh, it works on counter hit? Oh yeah, it does. That's pretty cool. So it looks like max range, it'll always work on punish counter, but not on counter hit. Also, it combos in the sweep too. Like at like this kind of range. Just like think of it as like a very low committal whiff punisher compared to something like stand heavy punch, which like leans you forward, right? However, I think for whiff punching, this stand medium punch is probably one of your best options. It goes far. It combos into Corsical forward EX, even from like almost max range. You just gotta be really careful because like sometimes if you hit like something extended, it won't combo. But this is pretty nice as a whiff punisher, as opposed to like doing drive rush, which like uses more meter, right? But they're both still pretty good. I didn't talk much about our drive rush, but our drive rush is okay. The issue is our drive rush is fast, but the buttons you can do out of it aren't that strong. I think back heavy kick's probably like the best one for like Oki or on block, because like it leaves you in throw range and you're the most plus. But crouch heavy punch is also pretty decent. It comes out faster and you're still plus, right? So you can do crouch jab and get a hit confirm. The other thing where this is useful is technically this is slightly more optimal. This does like 20 extra damage than this. So I guess if you want to be like a fucking sweat lord and you want to squeeze out that extra damage, you can do that instead. I showed overhead earlier, but like drive rush overhead, obviously really good. Crouch medium punch into, you know, enter your choice. All right, jump normals. Jump light punch. Okay, and air to air. Honestly, never use this thing. Jump light kick. Okay, cross up. Jump medium kick. I think is a better cross up. So use jump medium kick. Jump medium punch is an air to air. So if you react to them jumping, you can get some okay damage. It's not the best air to air in the game, but it's serviceable, right? Jump heavy kick has the most range of her jump-ins. So we'll reach from round start where most other jump-ins don't, right? Jump heavy punch, I think, is her most underrated normal. You get it's kind of like a Ken jump heavy punch, where you get it really early in your jump arc and it'll still hit them. So if I do this back heavy kick late, I'm just gonna swat it out of my back heavy kick. So it's really good for punishing people that aren't very good at anti-airing. Recommendation, jump medium kick for cross up, heavy punch for when you want to stuff something, or like you jumped over a fireball, and a heavy kick for range. All right, let's talk about Burnout Pressure. So her Burnout Pressure is like not as good as you think it would be, but she has a couple cute things she can do in Burnout. This is kind of cute. So this is 0 on block. So like it can catch a lot of people unaware. And the cool thing is if they super after, like let's say they super after the Riembu, and you press jab, see how my jab's coming out? You can actually just cancel the parry and then, you know, mess them up for trying to do a super. The issue is that they can just, it's kind of gimmicky because they can just like trade with you and now you're like even. Probably the nicest thing is this is actually plus on block now. So this crouch medium punch kind of moves you forward a little bit and you're plus. Same thing with stand heavy punch too. So you can use these normals in Burnout as well, to kind of like convert frame traps. So you can do key stuff like heavy punch, light Riembu, heavy punch, right? Like you see the idea. There's some cute stuff you can do, but probably the cutest thing she can do is actually really strong. She has really good chip sequences in the corner. Doing stand heavy punch, charge fan. And if they get hit, you know, you actually just get a combo here. Light Riembu, DP. If they're not mashing, okay, crouch medium punch, and then loop it over and over. And none of this can be mashed. You get the idea. And that does a crap ton of chip. Not to mention you can mix up throw and other stuff. Yeah, and obviously with fire stocks, it's gonna be better. That's pretty much all I got, I think. I have some advanced tech to show. So do I do questions first? Okay, I'll take any questions, but if I already answer in the guide, I'm not repeating it. Our most important Oki to practice, just being able to time meaty throw after tackle and understanding like how to shimmy and how to like do this over and over. Like that's really, if you can practice that and make sure you got the timing down, you'll be golden. Crouching heavy feels kind of bad. I think, yeah, it is pretty bad, honestly. But I think it's okay to drive rush. Technically, it's probably like technically more optimal to punish certain things. Like so for example, like here, if I have to punish counter something from here, it's not gonna work. But like here, I can get like a punish counter hit. Any overhead meaties? Force will go back medium punch, withstand leg kick, overhead, +4 on block. You can go into, +4 on hit. You can actually go straight into target combo, go into level 1. You get the idea. Pretty cool. All right, let's talk about Twitter tech. I'll start from the bottom. All right, so this is an alternative punish to stand heavy kick punish counter. The idea being you get these like weird juggles and you can go into super. It's definitely slightly more optimal that way. Same kind of thing here. Nice quarter carry, and you can do meaty fan setups as well. These are some of my stun combos. I'll link this Twitter, this clip, but technically these are the most optimal combos you can do after a stun. Obviously it depends on like the fire stocks and if you want to spend super. But realistically, like you'd only do this if it's gonna kill. This is a cool thing about fire stocks. So because when you have fire stocks here, you can kind of continue the combo longer. You can get way more damage using this route. 6K for someone jumping at you is probably some of the best in the class. Oh, this is another example of burnout pressure. I haven't quite used this yet, but it's obviously like very situational, very cute, right? Get a bunch of chip, get that DI. Pretty scary. Obviously you can mix up like throws and that sort of thing. So this is Uma. If you have fire stocks, you could trade the fireball with like a jump normal and you could do chunks. Millionaire exclusive tech. I thought this sequence was pretty cool. So the idea of this is after you land level 1 and you have 2 bars, you want to be able to like get it confirmed into level 3, right? So this combo actually builds a full drive, and then you can go into critical art. But this starter here is actually pretty decent if you just want something to like kind of jail them into place. This drive rush EX fan, because even on block it's a really good situation. And then I just want to show this. If you want to be like super swag, this is after you hit 2100 MR. If you want like some swag combos, you can do something like this. Yeah, at me in the comments when you land this one. And people are still finding stuff, check the hashtag. This is literally posted an hour ago. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with this character. I'm sure people will keep finding stuff. All right, now we play a game of ranked, and then I think we call it. But yeah, that's the end of the guide. If this was useful, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. I didn't show my best my mods. Fuck you, right? Oh God. Oh, I didn't confirm counter. Oh my God. He's walking back a lot, gonna crouch medium kick into drive rush into combo, go for throw, see what he does. Throw loop because he's close to the corner. Gonna keep doing it until, oh, he backdash, but he misses crouch jab. Ooh, that perfect parry to kind of clutch it out. I don't know if this level 1 is worth it, but now I get fan pressure, and now you're dead. So I noticed he back medium punch, so I'm gonna try jumping in a bit more because it means he's not ready for the oh, that's my goat right there. Oh, I'm just gonna burn him out. Crouch jab and to Ryemu to kind of get some extra chip, and he's dead. Look for something that I knew he was gonna do it. Overhead. All right, go into I think I'm gonna go into EX fan pressure. Oh, I could have got a crazy juggle there. Oh, I thought he was, oh, I missed my meaty. All right, see if he knows. Yeah, crouch light into Ryembu, kind of cheap. All right, I'm gonna shimmy this time. Oh, I should have grabbed that. All right, GG's. But yeah, that's how you play. That's how you play mine. Like, share, subscribe.